Hello and namaste to all. Welcome back to another video on Sweet Home Netflix horror drama. Sweet Home is based on the WEBTOON Sweet Home. It consists of 10 episodes. It has ended with a lot of suspense and mysteries and a lot of question and answers. So in this video, I'll be explaining the ending and giving you my theories and reason why we need season 2. In the last episode, it was shown that Cha Eun-soon was not only the one who was able to resist the disease and control the monster, but there was also a guy, Jang Yoo-myung, who was similar to him, but Jang Yoo was evil, who wanted to use his power to harm the human. Somehow, he started to shoot the gun to the Cha Eun-soon neighbor, and we know Cha Eun-soon cares about his neighbor. Looking at Jang Yoo-myung brutally shooting the gun, Cha Eun-soon loses his mind and turns into a monster body and ends up killing him to save the people he cares. At that moment, Ryo Jae-hoon finds a signal device and sends the signal to the military office telling them they have a special infected monster in the apartment, thinking that the military officer will save him. He kind of betrays Cha Eun-soon, who had been fighting with the monster to protect them and him. We see a military force surrounding the building and start to fire. Looking at that, Cha Eun-soon decides to surrender to the military force as he is a monster, and if he go to the military force, people in the building would be saved. Cha Eun-soon goes out of building into the military force surround him and start to shoot him. On the other hand, the Lee Eun-hook, the leader, takes the remaining people to the basement and tells them to go and he'll be back after seeing the Cha Eun-soo. But we see the leader, Lee Eun-hook, doesn't go back to the basement but stays in a building listening to music and looking at the photo of family. They didn't show why he didn't went to the basement with other people and didn't give a reason about it. So all it was shown that we see a blood on the photo and it ended his part with that. In my view, I feel the basement was already blocked and he knew he had no way to survive. So the blood on the photo can be a blood that came from the falling wall hitting on his head. Or we can say maybe he was infected, as we can see a blood on a photo which may have come from his nose, which is one of the symptoms of before being infected. Maybe that was the reason why he didn't want to trouble the people and wanted to die as a human. We see apartment people who went to the basement end up being surrounded by military force and they get taken by the military force. Only the Seo Kyung firefighter lady was left and she tells apartment people to survive. We don't know what's going to happen to the apartment people who was taken by the military force. As it is in the episode, it was shown that military people were using the human for experiment and they were kind of cruel. So it is hard to say how the apartment people life is going to be. Only the firefighter lady was left behind, was not taken by the military force along with the apartment people. So the main military officer tells her that she still has one task to do. So we see a firefighter lady going somewhere alone. This is kind of a mystery. How come she was not taken along with the other people? I feel the last mission that they were talking was a Cha Eun-soon because her task was to capture him in order to see his fiancée. In the last episode, we see that Cha Eun-soo was alive and was not captured by the military force. Maybe they want her to capture him because she knows Cha Eun-soo well, and maybe that was her last task in order to see her fiancé for the last time. We see Cha Eun-soo in a military vehicle with one man taking him somewhere. When he opens his eyes and looks at the driver, he sees a gangster, Pyeon Sang-hook. Pyeon Sang-hook tells him long time no see, and we see he doesn't have a scar on his face like he used to have, and the drama ends with that. So there are a lot of confusion. In the episode, it was shown that Pyeon Sang-hook, a gangster who died along with Ko Yoon-jong and while trying to save her. So how come he's alive and how come he doesn't have a scar on his face? And also, how did Cha Eun-soon was able to survive from the military force and how did he end up with Pyeon Sang-hook? So in my view, Pyeon Sang-hook was infected and while he was about to die, so due to that reason, he's alive now and he's able to resist the monster like Cha Eun-sook, and we know that when people get infected, their wound get cured itself, so the scar on his face, maybe it got removed. And also, maybe Cha Eun-sook was saved by Pyeon Sang-hook from the military force. These are my theories and views on ending of Sweet Home as a K-drama viewer. A lot of things that is yet to be explained, like they didn't explain much about the military force and we didn't know what's gonna happen to the apartment people who went with military force, and why Cha Eun-hook didn't went to the basement. Is he alive or dead? And what's the real identity of firefighter lady and what is her last mission? How come Cha Eun-sook was saved from the military force, and as well Pyeon Sang-hook, how come he's alive? That give reason for the season 2. Maybe season 2 will portray on that. So let's hope for the season 2. Thank you for watching this video and listening to my theories and opinion about the last ending.